MAC address is a physical address. Guys, first difference between MAC address and IP address is MAC address is physical address and MAC address is permanent address. Okay, IP address is a logical address. IP address is not permanent address. Does not mean temporary. Not permanent means it is not fixed to any device, anything. Just it is assigned by some other users. Okay, it is not permanent address. Meaning is can changeable. Can changeable. You can change the IP address. Who is going to assign IP address? Assigning of IP address. Who is going to assign IP address? MAC address assigned by manufacturer of NIC.
Manufacturer.
Okay. So IP address is assigned by user. Like normally we are users or administrators. It means a specific administrator or by ISP providers, internet service provider. So managing this IP address assigned by users or administrators, ISP providers, DHCP servers or devices. Servers are devices. So because when you say device means your router also will assign, right? So that's why I written DHCP server. In generally, when you hear a DHCP server means it is a Windows server or a Linux server kind of stuff. Okay, but DHCP server, your devices like your routers also act like a DHCP server. You got an IP address from your Wi-Fi router. Okay, you got an IP address from your Wi-Fi router. It means your Wi-Fi router is act like a DHCP server. Okay, and from ISP provider also will give you some IP address. Okay, these IP addresses are given by different resources. Okay, so it can be a changeable or maybe it can be assigned or reassign, assign or reassign by different resources. Okay, that's the first thing you should understand. Coming to the MAC address is a physical address, permanent address assigned by NIC of that one, not changeable. MAC address is not changeable. So that is a very important. So anyway, it is one of the important question in interviews. So IP address and MAC address differences. So that's why I'm writing about a MAC address again, physical address. Okay, and are given by manufacturer. Cannot change. Okay, cannot change, but can prove. We can spoof the MAC address, but we cannot change the MAC address. Okay, it is a permanent address. Permanent address is unique address. Guys, as better as don't use unique word in a MAC and IP address. Don't use a unique word in an IP address because of when you are telling if you are not telling completely, the meaning will changes. That's the problem. Unique address is a MAC address. Okay, so this is it. Of course, any MAC address is 48-bit or 12 hexa represented in 12 hexa. This is the IP address. Of course. So what is IP address? When it comes to the what is IP address, it is a logical address and it is uniquely identify a device in network. Whenever you are telling, like if someone is asking a question, what is IP address? Uniquely identify device in the network. That is good. But why I told avoid the unique kind of stuff. Why I told, because some people when they're trying to tell an answer like what is IP address, yeah I know IP address, uniquely IP address, unique address. So what happened when you say, instead of saying uniquely identify a device in the network, instead of this one you said unique address, means MAC address. So obviously A is equal to B, B is equal to A, sorry, A is equal to B, B is equal to C, A is equal to C only. So then automatically you're trying to say IP address is nothing but a MAC address. So that's why I said better to avoid a unique kind of stuff. This statement and this statement, better to avoid it, but better to know it. Knowing is better. Okay. So if you are confirmly are able to tell it this sentence, tell it. You confirmly know and how to tell it, no problem. Okay. It is uniquely identify a device in the network. That is IP address. Unique address is MAC address. Okay. That's a little confusion is there. Okay. And it is assigned. Someone will assign, not by manufacturer. So there is no manufacturing kind of stuff. IP address is assigned by myself. I can able to assign my IP address. My administrator will assign IP address, or by DHCP server or internet service provider. Someone will assign IP address and take care by IANA and ICANN. Already I given these names. Who will maintain? Take care means maintain. IANA, ICANN, regional internet regional authority services, something is there, that's also will take care. Asia specific, AppNIC, I said no, AppNIC. So in India, what IP address should be used? Okay. In South Africa, what IP address must be used? In Australia, what type of IP address must be used? Like that will be decided by IANA, ICANN, and the sub parts are there, regional registration centers are there. So you want an IP address, public IP address, you have a servers and you want IP address, so then you have to buy an IP address from regional offices only. Okay. In India also we have a regional office for Indian purpose, but make sure that it is original or duplicate. Better to contact ISP providers. Okay. Guys, it's a logical address, not permanent address. Uniquely identified device in the network, can changeable, assigned by user administrator. Okay. Next, here it is permanent one, so 48-bit or 12 hexa, no other versions. But IPv4, IPv6 are two versions of IPv6, two versions of, okay, IP addresses. Two versions of IP addresses. Guys, when we came to the IPv4 and IPv6, compulsory, there's at least few differences. We must know it. Okay. When it comes to the IPv6 part, again, we may discuss about IPv6, how it is look like and as possible. But now we'll see the at least few differences compulsory. Should do it. It is a 32-bit. It is 128-bit in a size. IPv4 size is 32-bit and IPv6 size is 128-bit. So whenever you say like a 32-bit, it means number of IP addresses of IPv4 is 4.3 billion IP addresses. You'll get it. 4.3 billion IP addresses you are getting. Yeah, you can calculate 2 to the power of 32. Just go to open your calculator, put a 2 to the power of 32. Very simple. Go to calci. Not this one, not a standard programmer or scientific. No, not this one. Scientific, yeah, it is 2 to the power of 32. Like this, 4.3 less than 4.3 billion IP addresses. Okay. Next one is 2 to the power of 128. IPv6 is 2 to the power of 128, 3.4 billion billions of IP addresses, like that it will come up. Okay. It is 3.4, not a 1 billion, lot of billions of IP addresses. Get it. And approximately, say, so 3.4, not approximately, 3.4 into 10 to the power of 8 IP addresses we are getting exactly 3.4 10 to the power of 38. Guys, very simple. This is 4.3, this is 3.4. Okay, this is less than 4.3, 4.29, something like that. This is a 3.4, almost more than 3.4 billions of IP addresses we are getting. Some people are asking a question. The question is, it's like in interviews or anywhere. The question is, we have a IPv4 and why we need a IPv6? We have a IPv4. Why we want IPv6? What is the question? We have IPv4 and why we need IPv6 now? This is one of the important question. So what is the thing is, if you see, guys, nowadays internet is, earlier days means when networking kind of stuff started, it is limited to certain place only US based military area. Within the network, within that one only. LAN, WAN, CAN, LAN, CAN, MAN. It means we limited size up to city size, up to country size, maybe they take it. But now it is worldwide communication. Now it is worldwide communication, WAN communication, worldwide. From any corner to any corner, we can able to communicate, right? So number of devices are increasing. For example, I have a laptop, I have a mobile phone, I have a tablet. Okay, I have another system in Pune. I have another system, Kindles. Like a number of devices increasing, per person also increased, per person. Okay, not a per home or a per office. So per person also number of devices are high. Okay, like in India itself, like we have a the size of the country is 4.3 billion easily, 4.4 billion by China. So only 2.7 billion consumed by India and China. So rest of the people won't get it. It's not about a popularity, it is also development of the countries. So development means electronic devices, computers, mobile phones. So too much of requirement of IP addresses increases, on demand of IP addresses increases, like so. Then this is not enough. So then people keep it in mind. So when they're developing IPv4, they start developing IPv5, IPv6, IPv7, IPv8, like that. Whenever they find better of IPv6, they started complete solutions like IPv5, IPv6 are developed, but IPv6 is now authorized and standardized and released into the market. So here it is a 3.4 billion IP addresses, means each element we can give a one IP address also. Nowadays we have a LED, Wi-Fi LED bulbs are there, smart plugs are there, right? So like that, so you can give a lot of IP addresses to different devices. Okay. Reverse question is also there for this one. That is, the question is, IPv6 is available and it's big, but why we still using IPv4? So this is another question. IPv6 is available. Earlier it is not available. That's why we use IPv4. Earlier it was a small networks. Now it is a big networks. Okay, and IPv6 is a very big one. So we can use IPv6, right? Why we are using still using a IPv4? That is also another question. So what is the answer? It is lot of countries, including a lot of people are only scolding India because India is a very late country ruled by like a few people in the. So it is a lot of people. Whatever the thing is, we throw on a countrywide, right? Like that. So it is not about only in India, in a US, Australia, the very big countries also, not completely. Their organizations, internal organizations, governmental organizations or private organizations, not every organization is having a facility of IPv6. Still, their old routers, their switches routers are still working with the IPv4 only kind of stuff, not IPv6, IPv4 kind of stuff. Their network kind of communications entirely still IPv4 type only. And IPv4 is very simple to understand by a lot of people. So that's why still they didn't upgrade their old routers and all. So still they want to put a IPv6. It's a thing is like a more amount we have to invest on a IPv4. Sorry, IPv6. Why? Because of you have to understand IPv6 and very less complex, but understanding is difficult. Okay, because it's a 128-bit in number, it is 32-bit in number, and it is decimal format. Okay, this is decimal format. This is hexadecimal format. Decimal format. Hexa format. It is a normal decimal format. It is normal numbers are there here. A, B, C, D also there. So obviously a little bit hard and very big one. That is one kind of stuff. Next one is the world systems, world computers are routers, switches not understand IPv6. They understand only IPv4. So that's a globally 100% all the systems are not upgraded to accept IPv6. Okay, that's why still we are using IPv4 for a global communication. But as we are parallelly are using IPv6 also. So we cannot say like we are not at all using IPv6. Parallelly we are using IPv6 also. There are a lot of benefits of IPv4 and IPv6 is there. So that is also we will discuss. Okay, so these two are general questions when it is comes to IPv4 and IPv6 is, of course, one more question is that is difference between IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, compulsory differences. Already I told three differences are here. Okay, so like a frame at least 5 to 6 differences. Tell immediately. So how to tell an answer in interview is always easy, guys. So in interviews, important is when interviewer asks a question, start immediately, start telling an answer. Okay, how to tell an answer? First give the complete answer, complete sentence. Don't give 32-bit, 128-bit. It's a 2 to the power of 32, 3.4 billion. 2 to the power of 128, 3.4 billion billions. It's a decimal format. It's hexadecimal format. Don't give like that. Give complete mouthful sentence, not a very complex sentence. Give easy and straight line sentences. Okay. So IPv4 is 32-bit and IPv6 is 128-bit. So IPv4 is 32-bit. So 2 to the power of 32 is 4.3 billion. So IPv4 give total number of IPv4 addresses are 3.4 billion IP addresses we are getting. 3.4 billion IP addresses we are getting. IPv6 is 128-bit. So 2 to the power of 128, 3.4 billions of IP addresses we are getting. So literally say 3.4 into 10 to the power of 38 IP addresses we are getting. IPv4 write in a decimal format, IPv6 in a hexadecimal format. So like that, so we have to tell answer. Okay, this is the main differences in a IPv4 and IPv6, of course, but there is a few more things are there. In a IPv4, you have a unicast, multicast, broadcast. IP addresses are there. Okay, in a IPv6, you have a unicast, multicast, and Anycast. It means important is only difference in an important wise. It's a broadcast. It is Anycast. Broadcast means send to everyone, those who are connected in the network. Those who are connected in the network. Broadcast means send a message to everyone. Send a packet to everyone, those who are connected. Anycast means send to everyone, those who are connected with the IPv6 protocol enabled. Okay, those enabled with IPv6 protocol, send to them only, not everyone. IPv4, those who are connected, send to them. That's it. IPv4 protocol or IPv6 protocol, it don't mind about it. Send to everyone, those who are connected. This is send to everyone, those who are connected, and IPv6 is enabled. Send to everyone, those who are connected, and IPv6 enabled. Okay, if you don't understand it, no problem, just I will tell that one later. Okay, so broadcast, it means sent to everyone in network. Network. Network, those who are anything, just I'm trying to make a point. It is okay. So this is a one important kind of stuff. Here it is. Local host or loopback address is 127.0.0.1. Okay, what is this local address, guys? Every PC has a name. Every device has a name, right? My device is also having a name. For example, host name. This is my laptop name. Okay, I have another laptop. I have another laptop. For example, my another desktop is there. That is something I put another name. Okay, or maybe by default some name is there. So every PC, for example, I have a multiple PCs are there. Think like this: PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4. Like I put a name for first PC, PC1, second PC, PC2, third PC, PC3, fourth PC, PC4. But all PCs are having a one common name. All PCs are having a one common name. You know what is the common name? Is localhost. This PC by itself, localhost. Its meaning is, when I say what is my name is Latif, but myself is myself only, right? So when I say myself, means myself only, no other differences. Like that. Every PC for itself, it is a local host only. Every PC for itself, it is a local host only. Every PC itself, it is a local host. So like that. So also loopback ID. So when you say loopback ID or loopback address or localhost address, okay. So it may be they ask a question like what is address or ID, okay. Loopback ID, localhost ID, loopback address, localhost address is 127.0.0.1. In IPv6, loopback address is this one, ::1, ::1. I will show you that one. So ping localhost ::1. So I'm pinging to me only. This is IPv6 is enabled. That's why it is showing ::1. If IPv6 is disabled, then my local loopback address automatically 127.0.0.1. So I have both IPv4 and IPv6. So obviously my local host or loopback address is 127.0.0.1 and as well as ::1 also. Both are there. But if you are pure IPv4, this is the one. Pure IPv6, this is the one. Okay. So what is a local host? Local host is itself. Okay. Every PC has a name. Automatically a name is there. Automatically every PC has a common name is localhost. For itself, it is a localhost. And you given a name for identify the device with a name. To identify the device with a name is called like this. But every PC itself, it is a localhost. This is a very important IP address for troubleshooting and service access or service installation in the PC. Dots, guys, loopback address localhost. So in here network address translation, port address translation we use for a communicate for local to public. Okay, these are we use for a communicate local to public or private to public. Okay, anything you can say private to public or a local to public. Like we are using a broadband connection, right? We are all using a broadband connection, and in your home you are all using private IP addresses and you are communicating outside using a PAT technology. So your ISP provider use that one. Okay, so local to means private to public or public to private by using NAT and PAT technologies. In this one, we don't use that one. NAT and PAT not required. Because of NAT and PAT for use reduce the number of IP addresses in the market. So not like okay, we don't need of more IP addresses. We don't need to use it. Okay. I took a lot of time for differences only. So I will tell one or two things. Okay. Automatic private IP address is there. It is automatic private IP address. The range of automatic IP address is 169.254.0.0 to 169.254.255.255. This is the automatic private IP address range. Guys, whenever you are unable to get IP address, whenever you are your DHCP server is down, your DHCP server is down, you didn't get able to get a IP address. Okay, So you didn't get any IP address from DHCP server. DHCP server is down or wire is disconnected, whatever it is. You are unable to get an IP address from DHCP server. Automatically, system configure an IP address in the APIPA range. It is invalid. It is invalid in the network. Means you can't communicate with the APIPA address. Okay. It is a self-assigned by system. Okay, itself system assign this system when failed to give IP address. Failed to give IP address to system. Okay, so it will self-assign. It is not bugs. Here in this one, link local. Okay, the link local IP address is range is like this. It is FE80::, okay, and some IP address. For example, if you go to my IP address, I will show you IP config. How to check IP address? IP config. See this link local IP address. Okay, this is my link local IP address. Just for an example, because it's a Microsoft one, will show the IP address like this. This is link local IP address. It is also assigned by system itself, but it is valid.
Well, this is the permanent address, sir.
This is permanent address.
Automatic. This one's are automatic private IP address. This is permanent address 169.254.
Yeah, the range is permanent. It depends upon your system. You will get a different type of automatically IP address.
It's only range, sir. 169
you fail to get IP.
And so on.
No. You fail to get IP address from DHCP server. System will assign this IP address. You got IP address from DHCP. This will be gone.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Understand.
Okay. So you got IP or you configured manually. This will be gone. So, but this is permanent. If IPv6 is enabled, every PC has a link local IP address. Every device or a PC, whatever the name you put it, device or a PC has this IP address. Typically, it is assigned by system only, and it is permanent, and it is based on your MAC address. It generate based on MAC address. Okay, because MAC address is a permanent one. Okay, and valid to communicate. Valid to communicate. It is not valid to communicate. We can't communicate with this one. But we can communicate. So this is a link local IP address. Of course, there is a private IP address, public IP address in a one. But so small example, and I will give you a break. Then I will go to IPv4 explanation. Okay. So I said it is a decimal format. It's a decimal format. First, we will go to how it is look like. Example will go. Some example I am going. This is just how IPv4 is look like decimal format, right? So here how IPv6 is look like is a different ways. This is also IPv6, and there's so many ways IPv6 are there. Okay. So I'm writing a global unicast IP address. So like this. As first of all, it is 128 bit represented in hexa. Okay. So the mathematically say hexadecimal means like a 0, 1, 2, and it go up to 9. After that one, A. If anybody don't know how hexadecimals are there, please go to that one. Otherwise, tell me, I will tell. See, like this, it will be there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, F. These are the hexadecimal numbers. Decimal numbers are 0 to 9 only, but hexadecimals are 0 to F, means 0 to 15, totally 16. Okay, so this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, when you convert into the binary, so I'm converting F into the binary. F into binary is 111. Okay, if you convert 0 into binary is 00. 1 into binary 0001. 2 into binary 0010. Because it's the last digit is 4 bits. Last digit is 4 bit. Compulsory you have to write. Each one is like this. Okay. Even if you write 7 0 1 1 1, but if you write 8 1 0 1 0, so sorry, 9, this is A, 1 0 1 0. Okay, like B, C, D. This is the hexadecimal. So each digit is 4 bit size. Each digit is 4 bit size. Highest is F. Okay, lowest is 0. So F is 4 ones, 15. It is 4 ones. It means 4 bits are there. So each hexadecimal is 4 bit. Okay. Okay. 4 bits. Each hexadecimal is 4 bit in size. 4 bit in size. Now totally 128 bit by 4. How much it is? 32 hexadecimals are there. 32 hexadecimals are there. 2 0 0 0 2 A like this. These are all each one, each number either 0 to F, each one is one hexadecimal. So totally 32 hexadecimals are there. 32 hexadecimals are there. So each one will be divided by colon. This is a block. This is another block. And now 4 hexadecimals divided by a colon. Okay, another block 1, 2, 3 completed. Another block. So 4 blocks are completed. So totally 8 blocks are there. 8 blocks are there. Just an example purpose only, guys. Okay.
Sir, only comes under numerical value and alphabet value comes under this line,
This
sir,
is
only.
not an alphabet.
In
It is an
extra
hexadecimal.
keywords, I mean percentage, this type of can be used, sir.
Yeah, this is a different way. So this is a Microsoft representing in a different way. Okay, based on my MAC address, it calculates something and it will show us like this. But in originally in a Cisco way, pattern is different. So when you see this one in your machine, it is a link local IP address. Using this IP address, you can able to communicate. and it is assigned by itself by PC only. If your IPv6 is enabled in your adapter, it will assign automatically. Okay, but originally the global unicast IP address is look like this one. Okay. This is global unicast IP address. It's basically public IP addresses are global unicast IP address for communicating in publicly. So this is the global unicast address range. This is called 001 or a /3 range. So I given, but if you don't understand, no problem. Okay. So the starting range is that. Just for data purpose only. Remaining is just what you understand. That is very important here, guys. Basically, for any question, the question is what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6? IPv4 is 32-bit, IPv6 128-bit. IPv4 is 3.4 billion IP addresses in IPv4. Sorry. 4.3 billion IP addresses in a IPv4 because 2 to the power of 32, and 3.4 billions of IP addresses in IPv6 because of 2 to the power of 128. Okay, 3.4 into 10 to the power of 38 is the total IP addresses in the IPv6. IPv4 represented in decimal format, it is look like this one. IPv6 represented in hexadecimal format, it is look like this one. Just I given one example. So smallest IPv6 means like you can represent like this also IPv6. Okay, what is this meaning is actually like this 0:0:0:0:0:0:0 like this. Okay, that is also IPv6. Yeah, one more is okay. So we have a 0.0.0.0 IP address is there. Here it is colon only. Okay. Colon means all are zeros, which is in IPv4 it is 0.0.0. Okay. Next, it's a decimal format, hexadecimal format. It is look like this one, and here it is a IPv6. It's a look like very big one. So how much big it is? 32 hexadecimals we are using. 32 hexadecimals we are using. Okay, 32 hexadecimals we are using. Next, this is a link local, so local host address or loopback address. Every PC has its own IP address is so 127.0.0.1. That is a every PC. You have 100 PCs. 100 PCs has their name, whatever the name it is, but itself it is a localhost address, and their localhost IP address is always 127.0.0.1 reserved IP address for each and every PC internally. You can't communicate with this IP address to any other PCs. Okay, I have a laptop, I have another laptop, I want to communicate with this address, we can't communicate. If you ping to this IP address, meaning is you are pinging to yourself only. It is. I'm pinging to 127.0.0.1, meaning is I'm pinging to myself only. I'm not pinging to anyone. Okay, understand? I'm pinging to myself. In IPv6, it is the same as a ::1. Same is ping ::mean 1. I'm pinging to myself only. I'm pinging to myself. This is a testing purpose and as well as a local service access purpose we are using. This is also a reserved IP address is 0.0.0. So in a certain reserved IP address we are using. That's will later, but it is in IPv6 represented like this. Link local IP addresses are look like this one. It is assigned by IP address, and also our system will assign our IP address, self IP address assignment is IP address, which is invalid. It is kind of error type only. Okay, so like this. Okay, I will explain what is IP address and how to troubleshoot IP address if you got it. That is DHCP related one. Okay, this is only for comparison. I told every system has, if IPv6 is enabled, if IPv6 is enabled in your PC, it means you'll get a link local IP address. You can communicate within the LAN. This IP address in LAN communication. This is within the LAN, you can communicate one device to another device. It means you no need to assign any IP address to your PC if IPv6 is enabled. Okay, so no need of assigning any IP address. You can use this IP address to communicate. That is simple. But this one is invalid IP address. NAT and PAT is a network address translation kind of stuff. Network address translation, port address translation. These techniques use it to communicate from local to public or public to local. Okay, so like this for reduce the number of IP addresses used in the public. Okay, we use these techniques for to reduce the number of IP addresses in the public. So it is not required because of IPv4 and IPv6 is, sorry, IPv6 is very big one. The IPv4 and IPv6 compared to that IPv6 is very big one. So this is the differences and comparisons between IPv4 and IPv6. So these are the important questions related to that one. This is a hexadecimal numbers. If anybody want, I will put all other numbers also. So we can try. B means 1011. People who are very new to the this kind of stuff, actually you are not new. Okay, actually you are not new for this one, because you already learned this kind of stuff in your school days only, but we ignore to remember those kind of stuff. Zero zero one one 0100 0101. Okay. This is a
formatter ends with F only.
But it is.
This formatter
Your last one is
only F. Last one is F.
Last one is F. Okay. The next one is 10. After F, next one is 10. It is become like this. Okay. So after 9 we have a 10. So like that. This is a hexa. The first one is hexa. Next one is binary. Side by side is better instead of tab space. And also octal. So you can see decimal maximum size is for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just a numbering system, guys, not something outside. So 9 finished. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, here we have this equivalent to 16. Okay, so numbering system only, how you spell, like a language only. Another one is octal system. Octal means 8-bit. Hexa means what is how much size of hexa is 16. 0 to F means 15. So totally 16. Okay, binary, how much space of binary is 2 only. Binary is 2. This is 9. 10 actually. This deci means 10. Deci means 10. Binary bi means 2. Octal 8. Again 0, 1. Same thing, only nothing difference. Very good. So mind is not at all working. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. Here is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Like this it will continue. Okay. When it is reaches a 7, 0, 1, like a once it is reaches 1, 7, 1, 7 become a 2, 0. 1, 7 become a 2, 0. Like this, like a 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. It is 1, 7. You know what is the value of this one in octal? It is 2, 0. And when you are representing octal in a binary, that's a little bit different. Again, binary number, you are writing a binary equivalent for this one. Look at here, it is triple zeros only. 3-bit. This is only purely, guys, people already knows. Just go through once only. People who don't know, ignore it. Sorry, not at all known people purpose. People don't know what is hexadecimal, how it is look like binary or decimal numbers and octal numbers. So for those purpose only, I given like this details. See, 7 is the highest one in octal decimal octal number. Only in a binary, this is only 3-bit spaces. Only 3. Okay, it is octal. Totally 8 numbers are there, 0 to 7. Decimal 0 to 9. Totally 10. Okay. Binary 0 or 1. Binary means 0 or 1. Bit means 0 or 1. Okay. Hexadecimal 0 to F. So totally 15. F means 15. So totally 16. Totally 16. So that is keeping in mind, and it is quite easy because when you are going to learn IPv4, IPv6 kind of stuff, compulsory numbering system is important. The numbering system is already there in your school days only, not required a engineering kind of stuff also. But you are usually we forget things. Anyway, I thought it is better recollect once. Okay, so that, guys, this is about your MAC address, IP address differences I told, and I told about IPv4, IPv6, and I told about the differences. Next one, I will tell about IPv4, just the classes and ranges. Okay, the IPv4 classes and the ranges I will tell. In afternoon, I will tell another things like a network related. Okay, this up to now, I thought guys understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just relax for 5 minutes.